Introduce.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm Shannon. I am one of the hosts that did Dating with a Twist a while ago. So basically what I wanted to do is, since we can't do another event because everybody is doing the social distancing and whatever, I figured that we'll do like a dating just on social media. So what I'll do is I'll go around, starting with Natasha. You introduce yourself and whatever sort you want anybody to know about yourself. And then we'll get into a topic.
Okay, well, I'm Natasha. I am 35 now. I'm 35 and single. I've been single for a year now. I guess I figure I get some background information so that way we know everyone's perspective. But welcome everybody.
Hello everybody. My name is Nikia. I'm 39 years old, single, divorced, mother of 2. Just doing me.
I'll go. You want me to go? All right, I'm Walt, or Walter, whatever you prefer. 33 years young. I'm currently co-parenting. Very difficult. I actually moved to Florida to co-parent to be part of my kids' lives. So I have 2 boys. And looking to date. Actually, I haven't dated in almost 2 years, almost. So, yeah, that's the start of it. All right.
My name is Talmadge. I'm 43 years young. I'm divorced. I have a bunch of children. I have a lot of experience in life and in professional life, and I'm definitely ready to share and to also receive at the same time.
Ooh. All right. Well, cool. So with that being said, now we've introduced each other. I'm Shannon. I started Dating with a Twist because I'm single. I've been single for several years. I've been concentrating on basically raising my kids and trying to establish myself in the workforce. So I decided that I wanted to start dating, but I did not know where to go and find single people. So I created Dating with a Twist. I'm in the process of branding. I'll be doing a rewind of Dating with a Twist at Aromas as soon as we can stop with the coronavirus and social distancing and everything. But today what I wanted to do is once you start, which Trevor, I'm so happy that you guys made a connection at that event. But people still have questions. I know I'll get into conversations every day with trying to figure out a man's perspective versus a woman's perspective on certain issues, which can, hinder people from furthering themselves in dating. So with that being said, I want to jump into our first topic. Again, we have to talk one at a time so we can hear each other. My first question is the first date too soon to establish a committed relationship? That was one of the questions that I received on Facebook from somebody. Is the first date too soon to establish a committed relationship? We go together after the first date. Anybody want to start off with that?
Yes. I say yes. I say you need at least a couple of, I would say you need a couple of more dates. Because you might have been intoxicated and really feeling that person, and then anything could happen. So for me, no. It ain't gonna work.
No. Okay.
I gotta jump in on this one.
Okay.
So I definitely think it's too soon, but I also feel like it depends on the connection you have with that person as well. So I can give you a good quick example. When I met my kid's mother, I was at a point in my life where I was just like, I don't want a situationship. So if we're gonna be having sex, we gotta have some sort of commitment to it. And yeah, things started too quickly leads me to have this notion of first dates. You definitely don't want to put a title or a commitment to it, but I also feel like we're grown as well. And if you take that step to have intimacy, that platonic dating, then I feel like there should be some sort of commitment behind that, or some between the two parties.
Okay.
If it's the first date, you're still getting to know each other. So I don't feel like you should be putting limitations on anything. I mean, pretty much from my experience, seems like you're getting representatives at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So you want to get some time to get to know each other and then discuss if it's going to be exclusive or not. But off of one date, you're not really, you don't know that person. I'm sorry. So everyone's single. You're open to date who you want to date. And if you know, you get to that point where, you know, you want it to be exclusive, then fine, but not after one date. But there are some, you know, exclusions where there are some people where they meet and, you know, they fall in love. I've known a few of them where there's an exception to the rule, but you don't really know someone to say, oh, I'm exclusive to you, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. Guys, any other guys? No, you have nothing, Talmadge? Trevor, you have anything?
I do have something.
Because I have a follow-up question with that.
Can you hear me?
Just my experiences, and then I'm gonna let somebody else give a question. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Dating it equates to an interview.
Right.
The first date is the first interview just to find out about the person. You really don't know if they're qualified, if they have some of the criteria that you meet and that they actually can be a part of the team. So the first time that you meet them, it's basically an interview, a process that you actually try to just a question and answer situation. And then if they're successful, then you get to the second interview, which gets more in details about what the job entails, which is if the relationship, what you're looking for, what he's looking for, and if this is a match. Because the more that you are talking in the interview, the more that you'll find out if this person is actually qualified, or then that lets you know that they're not qualified.
Right. Gotcha. Anything, Trevor?
No, I agree. 110%.
Okay. So this question is geared to the guys that's on today. Here's another question that I'm gonna give, and then I'm gonna turn it over to somebody else to ask a question. Why do men get disengaged when they're not allowed or they're not asked to come over to the female's house in the beginning stage of, you know, getting to know each other? Here's my situation that I've had. I met someone new that I don't know. I don't have any references because a friend don't know him. And after a couple times of us going other places, he was asking to come to my house. So my philosophy is my house is my safe haven. My kids come here. If I don't know anything about you, I don't feel comfortable allowing you at my house in the beginning. So what's you got, you know, for the guys, what's your feel on that? Like, is that a deal breaker, or is that a sign of rejection? Give me some feedback so I can kind of understand.
All right, so I got something for that.
Okay.
So if it depends on, so it's many things. On a date in general, you want to ask certain questions of you, basically who you live with, in the sense of you don't want to walk into a situation. Then it also depends on someone's motive. Someone that just want to smash, I mean, that's why they want to just get to your house quickly, because your house is supposed to be your temple. So if that's your sacred place, you should never let somebody else in it so easily. So it just depends on the man's intentions about it. I don't think it's a deal breaker, but I mean, as time goes on, if you just keep coming over to my house and I never get to go to your house, you got a problem. So right. I think that's just what it is. It shouldn't be a deal breaker, but that also reflects on the man's intentions to begin with as far as you dated.
Okay. Any other guys?
Absolutely. I think it's at certain levels in a man's life which will dictate on why meeting or visiting to that person's residence is important. If you're younger, then of course you're looking for to hit the home run. You know, if I can get to her crib, we can make this happen, it's all good. But then also, if you're looking to find out what type of woman she is, still interviewing her surroundings and her temple will kind of tell you what type of person that she is. So if I want walk into, like for me, for example, if I walk into a house, I'm looking around because everything is still interview status of how does she live, how she keep her home, how she keep herself, what does her kitchen look like, what's her bathroom look like? I mean, is there stuff all over the place? What does the front door look like? All this stuff tells me what type of person that I'm dealing with, because a lot of women are looking for husbands. But then also is when you're looking for a husband, is she really wife material? Like how does she take care of the things that she says is sacred to her, which is her home, her temple? How does she take care of it? Because if she doesn't take care well, then will I take what I believe in and put it along with what she has going on and it doesn't match? That lets me know a lot more about who she is and how she does business.
Gotcha. Okay.
But as far as it being a deal breaker, you know, just from my personal experience, it definitely isn't. You know, I personally at that point where I feel like once you reach a certain age, you should be able to be mature enough to say exactly what you want. You know, whether male or female, and you get to a point where you shouldn't like have games. You have individuals where you know it's not intimacy level, and then you have individuals where you like, you know what, I see more in this person. Like I want more from this person. I want them to not only feed me in a physical aspect, but more of a mental type of aspect. So if she has a comfort level that indicates, you know, I don't want you to go to my house right now. Okay, that's cool. You know, I don't want you to meet my children right now. Ooh. Conversation.
Okay, now he's waking up. I can't hear.
Right off the jump. You know what I mean? So I have when it comes to dating someone that has children. You know, I wouldn't expect someone to have children like, oh, hey, come to my house. And I'm like, whoa, what is she on? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my perspective.
Okay. Ladies, did y'all have anything to add?
Me personally, I like for the individual to come to my house. I don't know, I just feel more comfortable in my own home. I know where things are. If something was to go down, I don't know what they have going on, where they might have another lady friend that's scoping their place out and all that other stuff. I've been in some situations where you get a knock on the door and like, you're the innocent bystander.
Oh my. Oh my.
So I like for a man to come over my house because I know where things are. If anything was to go down, I could go get my gun and we're good.
Okay. Nakia, do you have anything?
See, I carry my gun with me 24/7. So if anything get ready to pop off, it's gonna pop, and that's what it is.
I like it. I like it.
But my thing, and I would have to agree. Well, I got divorced at. I was only married for 2.5 years, so don't think that it was a long life, whatever. Mm-hmm. Either way, I don't like people coming into my sanctuary with my girls. I have an 18-year-old and I have a 4-year-old. To me, you don't need to see them unless I want you to see them. Right. You're not invited into that world until I know that I can explain this at least to my 18-year-old.
Right.
If I can't explain it to her and say, well, we are doing this, then you don't need to be here. Now, if you have a problem with that, then again, that brings me back. All right, let's go kick it at your crib. If I can't go to your crib, that's a red flag. You know what I mean?
So it's interesting. It's interesting because you and I are the only two females that have children. And that's something that is definitely a concern to me, is that I have to make sure that I'm doing the things that I want them to do. Like I have a 24-year-old. She knows you can't have, Eric coming over here on Monday, and then
there you go.
Derek coming over here on Tuesday, and then you got some crazy dude that you didn't notice this dude was crazy before you brought him here, and now he's in your house. He watched, your passcode to get in your door. He watched the drive, how to get here, or things that's within your house. With my son, I have to make sure too, you're not bringing everybody to your home. Once they get to this level, I feel like you should know this person. I should at least know. And I'm not saying to always go to his house. We can go out, to different places commonly until both of us get to a point where I can come to your house and you can come to my house. But I can't just bring somebody to my house and I can't even tell the police how to get to his house.
That
you know
part.
what I'm
And if
saying?
anything
So that's what I think about.
If anything sexually pops off, y'all, like she said, you don't necessarily have to go to his house. He don't have to come to your house. Y'all can go to a hotel. I don't do motel. Okay? We don't do motels. But
so we don't do no motel. Okay.
But yes,
Cameron, did you have something?
Y'all can mutually agree to go get a room and spend some time together. I think that when you invite people into your world, let alone your body, that's a whole different level. I can joke all day about being flirtatious and all the rest of the other kind of stuff, but that don't mean that I'm necessarily doing it.
Right.
And I think that's what it's hard to be on a dating scene with this generation, with this era of, I'm not gonna say generation because it's not even the kids, but this era of social media, and we gotta present this way, and we gotta be, more than who we normally would be. I think that it is hard. It's very, very hard.
Okay. So with that being said, did anybody else have a question? Now that we got, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, tell me.
Well, I mean, to say that, we're saying social media because I'm 26. So we're going to say this is my era. But women, y'all like that. Y'all like us to show off to the world.
No. Say most. Don't put everybody in that category.
Well, okay, so when I'm speaking, it's genuinely speaking, not saying directly to you. But what I'm trying to explain is that this is what women like in general, that y'all like to be shown off. Am I wrong?
Okay, so what I was saying was not about being shown off, not about being presented to the world as this is my guy. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have men that only go for the young thoughts, the girls that have the weave, the nails, the everything hanging out, that type of environment, and they think that, okay, well, I got with her, I got a couple of drinks, boom, we supposed to smash. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you being with somebody and you going out with them and you showing them off to your friends or showing them to the world. That's not what I'm saying.
So can I interrupt a little bit, guys?
Go ahead, say it.
Sure.
This is such a good forum because you're getting so much information from so many different levels, because you have so many different ages that are talking from their perspective, and they're talking from their life experiences, which is really good. You have a gentleman that's, he's in his 20s, you got people in their 30s, you have some in their 40s, and at those different levels, you have the thought process and how they live life is different. So I agree, they're all pertinent points, but once you get to this level of going to somebody's residence, that relationship is going to another level. You know what I'm saying? And once it's going to a level that you're willing to share these different things, then at that point it should be like you said, I know their kids, it's okay, or you're comfortable enough, because taking them to your sanctuary, for men it's different. For men, this is my counsel, this is this is the honeycomb hideout, especially if he's single, this is what I do. So he has no problem with sharing. Women, it's different, because that's something that they try to keep to themselves, so they keep it private. Yeah. Especially if it's the beginning of the relationship. If it's something she does for some time and she still does not allow you to come over, then it's a question.
Right.
But if it's at the beginning, then I agree with, because I've been in a situation where I've been in a young lady's apartment years ago, and there was a knock at the door, and I was like, okay, I will never do this again because I felt uncomfortable, but I didn't necessarily know what she had going on. With time and learning the person, you kind of get a little bit more of what they're dealing with, their boundaries, because a lot of women have men that they say, well, I'm done with him, but the guy's not done with her. All times of night, all times of day, and she thinks that she can just control the situation when she has no control at all.
Right.
My advice to most guys is like, hey, if she don't want you to come through there, I'm cool with that, because I don't want to have to step outside of my comfort zone, and then I'm in a situation, now I got to make a decision.
And that's why the rules are established up front. There will be no comings and goings.
Yeah.
Unless I tell you can come over here. You know, that we don't do pop-ups, we don't do none of that. Because the same way I'm gonna respect you is the same way you gonna respect me. If I'm not coming to your house doing no pop-ups, you can't come over here doing that. So
Right.
I got a question. I got a question though. If you meet a guy and he says, no, you can't come to my crib, why is it there may be an issue or red flag?
Well, I don't know. Let's start with Trevor. I don't know, Trevor, do you let's start with a guy this time. Have you ever had that situation where a female didn't understand or could not respect your terms?